Hi guys, I'm PUTSY, welcome back to my channel, and for today's video, I'm going to talk about all the books that I'm planning on reading in March 2022. So I'm filming this on the 28th of February, so I don't know exactly the amount of books that I managed to finish. I'm currently still reading one other book that I'm hoping to finish tonight. I'm pretty sure I managed to finish at least 10 books in February, maybe even 12. And that's like one of the best reading month ever for me. I'm just in a really great mood for reading, and that makes me really excited for March, to the point of I actually want to make a March TBR. I haven't done anything like this before. I'm quite a moody reader, maybe you can say that. I don't like planning ahead what I want to read. It depends on my mood at the time, what I want to read at that moment, then I'm just going to read them. But I also found myself felt a bit overwhelmed most of the times when I have to think at the moment, and with the selection, the amount of books that I have behind me there's just a lot of books that I want to read, and that actually makes me like nervous. Like I don't know what I should choose, makes me overwhelmed to the point that sometimes it put me in a bit of a slump. So maybe with having a TBR, just a bit of guidance for me personally, that might help me with those overwhelming feelings. So I don't know, based on last month's read, I'm going to put at least 10 books in my TBR for March. I don't know if I'm going to be able to read all of them, but at least I will be able to read half of them, hopefully. Oh, and before we get into my TBR, I'm also going to inform you that I will be posting my February wrap-up in a couple of days. So if you are interested in that video, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below so you won't miss out. And also, spoiler alert, all the books that I read in February are from my Kindle. I just bought a Kindle a couple weeks ago. I will have a Kindle unboxing video up maybe next week or in 2 weeks or something, if I manage to edit them on time. But yeah, surprisingly, I know I was excited for my Kindle, but I didn't know that I will be that excited to the point of I had no desire in February to read any of my physical books. I tried with one of the books that I'm going to mention in this TBR, but I failed miserably, and I ended up going back to my Kindle. I never put it down. I use it every single day. So, and that leads to my decision for my TBR for March. I'm trying to diversify my TBR. I make sure to add in a couple of physical books, a couple of books that I have in my Kindle Unlimited, audiobooks that I want to listen to. Yeah, let's just get into the first one. So first, physical books is It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. I mentioned in my 2022 TBR that I really want to get into Colleen Hoover, and I have a couple of books from her already, but this is one of the main one that I really want to read, mainly because this has been one of the most popular talked about books in every single social media, especially TikTok, for the past couple of months, and it seems like I'm one of the only person on earth that haven't read this book. Also because we just got news that she will be releasing It Starts With Us, which is a story from, I already read a couple pages of this, by the way. I tried to read this in February, which I mentioned earlier. I failed because I didn't want to part ways with my Kindle yet. So far I like it. I know already that there are some mention of Atlas, which is the guy from Lily's Past. It Starts With Us will be about their relationship through Atlas's perspective, if I'm not mistaken, which I'm super excited about because so far I actually really like their story and I'm curious to read that book. But of course, before we get into that one, I have to read this first. So yeah, this will be my main target for March. But I'm also glad that I didn't read this in February, because from what I've heard, this is not actually a romance lovely story. It's more sad and heartbreaking. It touched on a couple of difficult, heartbreaking topics such as domestic abuse, and I'm just super excited and curious to see Colleen Hoover's writing. A lot of people love the way she include a lot of twist and shocking moments towards the end, no matter if it's a romance or her thriller books. Most people do love her, but I've also heard from a couple of booktubers that I watch that they don't really like her writing style. It can be a little bit boring, blah blah, but I don't know, I just want to see for myself which category I am if I'm going to like her or not. Hopefully I will, because I already bought a couple of books from her, hoping that I will love her based on booktubers that have a similar taste as me. They're obsessed with her writing and her books, so hopefully this won't let me down, because I have such high hopes for this one. Okay, the second book that I really want to read in March is yet another book from Colleen Hoover, but this one is her newest release, Reminders of Him. People say this is also sad, but in a completely different way than It Ends With Us. This touch on a single mom who just got out of prison for involuntary manslaughter. I think she involuntarily killed her husband or her fiance, and she actually pregnant at the time, and ever since her daughter was born, I think she never met her. She got sent to one of her family members. When she got out, everyone hates her, shunned her in a way. So now she's trying to do anything in her power to get back into her daughter's life. And in the process of that, she met with this one guy, a local bar owner, and I think they will fall in love. A lot of people also say that there's going to be a huge twist toward the ends regarding Ledger and what happened in Cana's past, I think. Yeah, I don't know much about this book, but all I know is this is also going to be yet another sad, but more like in a bittersweet side, I think, compared to It Ends With Us, which is just utterly devastating. Some people like that book more, some people actually prefer this one, so I'm also excited to see which one I like more. And I'm also planning on making a reading vlog for both It Ends With Us and Reminders of Him, so maybe I will post that video in a couple of weeks or something. Hopefully I will get around to that. Other popular books that I really want to read is The Love Hypothesis by Hazelwood. I've seen a lot of people include this book in their 2021 favorite, which actually got me really interested to read this, more than the hype that it got on TikTok. With all the hype, I actually have such high hopes for this book, but I'm also hoping I won't be disappointed, because like the bar is like really high for this one. This touch on a bit of a different theme. The main characters in this book are scientists, women in STEM, which rarely got represented in books, especially romance. It includes tropes of, I think, grumpy sunshine, fake dating, also workplace romance. So all of those tropes alone got me super excited, because those are some of my favorite tropes in romance books. So yeah, I have high hopes for this. Another book for my physical TBR is quite different than any other book that I just mentioned, which is Pages & Co. Tilly and the Lost Fairytales by Anna James. So all the books that I just mentioned and all the books that I've been reading for the past 2 months are romance books, either young adult, or new adult. So this is quite a change of pace. Obviously this is a middle grade. This is the second book from the Pages & Co series. I didn't know why I bought this series in the first place, mainly because I think it was because of the cover and the fact that it's about a magical world inside books and stories. So Tilly have the ability to get inside a book and experience the story, meet with the characters and all of that, which as someone who loves to read myself, that's just sounds incredible and magical. Like, of course I would love to be able to do that, but obviously we can't, so I'm experiencing that through Tilly's experiences. I've read the first one and I quite like them. It's not extraordinary or anything, because it's still like it's the first book, so it was mainly a lot of introduction to the world itself, but hopefully the second book will be even better. I think this will have a lot more adventures in it, because this book is a little bit thicker than the first one. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm super excited to find out. Next, let's get into the Kindle territory. I had a free trial for Kindle Unlimited for 3 months. I wasn't even planning to claim the free trial, at least for the first few months I have my Kindle, because there are a lot of books that I want to read that are not part of the Kindle Unlimited program, like all the Off-Campus and Briar U series, the Addicted series, but there are one particular series that are part of Kindle Unlimited that piqued my interest. I couldn't get it out of my head, so I read all of them, and it will be part of my February wrap-up. But now I have my Kindle Unlimited, so I'm just going to use my Kindle Unlimited as much as possible while they are still free. But I think after reading through my Kindle Unlimited, I really think it's worth it. I think I might continue my subscription for 2022 until I have no other books I'm interested to read in there. But for now, they have a lot of options that I really want to read, so these are just a couple of them that I really want to read first. First is A Duology, Full Tilt and All In by Emma Scott. I've heard a lot of incredible things about this book, mainly from Steph Borer. This series is one of her favorite books of all time, 5-star reads, which is one of the main reasons why I want to read this series in the first place, because a lot of the books that she loves, I also love. We have a similar taste in romance books, and I feel like she won't steer me wrong with her recommendations. It's yet another grumpy sunshine, but it's a flip one. Usually the main guy is the grumpy one, the main female character are usually the sunshine one, but in this series the main female character is actually the grumpy one, which makes me super excited. I don't know if it's also a hate to love kind of story, but from what I've heard, I think this book will also be kind of sad, emotional, and just really good. And I also really like the cover. The cover really intrigued me. I don't know, like cool cover books really did something on me personally. If I see an incredible cover that I like, I usually don't care about what the book is about. I usually don't even read the synopsis at the back. I just buy them and hope for the best. I haven't had a horrible experience with books that have incredible covers, so hopefully this one won't disappoint me as well. But just hearing Steph talking about this book alone already got me excited. Next is a book from Mariana Zapata. She's one of the other romance writers that I really want to get into in 2022. I've heard a lot of incredible things about her, especially from a lot of my favorite booktubers that have similar tastes as me. Again, Steph Borer also rave about her writing. Mariana is like the queen of slow burn. I don't know if I necessarily love slow burn. Sometimes I don't have the patience for slow burn, but sometimes I do really like them. But the first book that I really want to read is All Roads Leads Here. It's also part of the Kindle Unlimited, most of Mariana's book actually, but this was actually the first book from Mariana that caught my attention. Maybe because of the cover, I don't know, but I also heard great things about the book itself. It's about a single dad, hate to love, forced proximity because the main character lived in the guest house of this single dad and she got really close with his children. He hates her, but in reality he actually really likes her and always been super protective of her or something, and slowly but surely they fall in love with each other. I don't know, like just those alone already makes me excited to read this book. So yeah, this will be my introduction to Mariana Zapata. Hopefully I will like them. If yes, then I already have a couple other books from her that I really want to read. Next book that are available on Kindle Unlimited that I really want to read is Twisted Love by Anna Huang. It is actually a series like the Brown Sister series, Off Campus, Briar U. They are standalone books, part of the same universe, so you can read them individually, but why, you know? This book also has been talked about quite a lot, especially because the latest book just got released a couple of weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken. I think the fourth one in the series is supposed to come out in a couple of months as well. So yeah, I just want to get into the series. I don't even know what Twisted Love is about, but I've heard incredible things about this book, so that's enough to convince me to read this series. So last category, but certainly not least, is audiobook. Actually, this is the one that I have problem deciding on. With audiobook, I never plan anything. I just scroll through it when I want to listen to a new one, see where it lands. My intuition when choosing audiobook usually spot on because I found some incredible book that ended up being my favorite, but I think I know what I want to listen to next. I think it's called Honey Don't List or something by Christina Lauren. I've listened to 4 or 5 audiobooks from Christina Lauren. So far, I like every single one. One of them, Love and Other Words, is now one of my favorite book ever. I love it so much to the point I actually ordered the physical copy of it. You have to read that book if you haven't. I don't know what it is about her books. I never really inclined to buying the physical copy of them because all of her books are available on Script. So far, it's my way of consuming their books, so I don't know why I should stop with the tradition, I guess. And this is the next one from them that piqued my interest. I don't even know what it is about. Should have listened to this in February, I guess, because of the cover, Valentine's Day and all. But I didn't manage to listen to any audiobook last month. So in March, I think this will be my next one. So those are the books that I really want to read in March. Hopefully I will be able to get through all of them. If not, at least half of them, and hopefully I can also read at least one from each category: physical, Kindle, and audiobook. I know most of them are romance, but I don't know, I'm still in the mood for it. But let's see where March takes me. So yeah, let me know in the comment section down below what books are you planning on reading on March. And lastly, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you do, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Maybe also subscribe to my channel. That will be highly appreciated. And yeah, I hope I can see you in my next video, which is my February TBR. And I found some incredible read that I think will be in my 2022 favorite, maybe even of all time. And if you want to see what they are, then I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys!